best of the
Commander.
best.
We got no reference.
What's the plan?
GSTL. Kaboom, baby!
Welcome back. It's time for Gumiho, the Towel Terran time. And he has chosen Grand Lagoon as the map against Monster.
Yeah, indeed he did. We have a Terran versus Zerg coming up on Grand Lagoon. And they actually changed the studio a little bit. They put the chairs like 10 meters more to the front to make more room for people.
Yeah.
So now nobody has to be in the lobby because it's so cold back there.
It is really cold back there. And I gotta say, it's a little bit tough for the teams to get off their bench with all these fans in here. Eventually, the teams are gonna have to like crowd surf over to the booth when it's time for them to play.
Wow. He sits there in a t-shirt.
He's a Towel Terran, man.
What is wrong with him?
He actually walked by that fire earlier. He warmed him up enough. He's ready to go. You may have the heater on in there as well. I have a hot pack in my back pocket. And
does that help?
It definitely does, man. Makes my seat feel warm. So now I've taken it out of my back pocket.
That's heating where we are, and I still feel cold.
I know you feel.
I mean,
do you get a hot pack yet?
No.
That's what's up, man.
That
You gotta have that hot pack. Look at Monster in the booth. He's got one. All right, here we go. This is
That was, by the way, no yawn by Gumiho. That was a war cry, guys.
Yeah, that was a war cry. That was a yell in the booth. Time for game number 6, the Nine-Tailed Fox up against Monster on Grand Lagoon, cast by Counter and Wolf.
Someone has to make a GIF of that Gumiho war cry and find an appropriate sound to put in. We couldn't hear it because, well, you know, the booths and everything.
Soundproof.
They are soundproof, but yeah, you could see it. Bottom left of the map of Grand Lagoon, we have our Zerg player. He just took down tier. He starts for team MVP, and his ideas.
MVP, Monster!
He is the little Hydralist that could last game.
Yeah.
And about 22 of them.
And you can see he's not impressed.
Yeah, not very impressed. His opponent to the top right is Hyperhidrosis, and as such, always brings a towel with him. He's a Towel Terran, otherwise known as...
FXOpen, Gumiho!
When he did that war cry earlier, you know, I couldn't hear it, but I could feel the ground shake.
Yeah. Still sitting there with this t-shirt. I can't believe it. It's so cold in Korea.
Yeah, and with all that sweat going around in there, it make your hand pretty cold, I would expect. Ooh, look at this. Could be, 2 racks opening here, just 2 racks fresher.
Gumiho, man, he's ready. He's one of the big bosses of Team FXO. He's the player who won them in the last GSTL finals. And of course, he's one of the players they expect to take down at least 2 opponents, I'd say. So far, it has actually been a ping-pong match. Every team winning, every player that has been sent out won 1 game and then lost 1. Except for the best, he was the first victim today. Starting player for Team FXO.
A little bit of a poke here on the SCV, but with the way the SCV is built buildings, that drone is not going to have an easy time. In fact, is chased away now.
But of course you can see that Monster now saw the double barracks. That's something that his opponent didn't even try to hide at any point. So right now this is a position for the Zerg where you go straight into the pool. You want to have everything ready in case there's an attack. But it's a little bit uncomfortable because he's like, well, he has double barracks, but he didn't try to hide it. So he might actually not just go for a huge attack here, and I might just prepare too much, sacrifice too many resources to my defense.
A lot of people will start a spine crawler and then cancel it if no attack comes. That's something that we've seen a lot. 4 drones to follow that SCV. He really wanted to grab it. And there will be a bunker here. This is not very aggressive. This is not all in. As you can see, the reason why this build is not really something Zerg has to worry about is because the next Marines are going to take so long to get across the map. Great micro by Gumiho, though. Oh my god. And the Seikubi set a monster. Really nice control here.
Doesn't lose a single drone just yet. Oh,
the SCV is not dead. He's still building that bunker. And now we've got more Marines here.
The SCV actually killed the drone, then got surrounded by its brothers.
Oh, wow. This is actually going to finish.
And that's not the only bunker that's most likely going to finish.
Yeah, there's no way you can deny the second one. He's even making a third bunker now. That Spine Crawler.
This is not in range.
Yeah, not in range. He has to manually target it.
And he does. And he's actually killing a lot of hit points already. This is bad. This is really bad. Oh, one Marine gets left out.
Yep, and that SCV remains alive. He wants to repair. He does.
2 SCVs repairing, and the second bunker is not ready just yet. He needs to start rebuilding it, but he doesn't have an SCV left.
I think he may double cancel here. There it is.
He has to. There are no SCVs that could actually do anything with those bunkers.
He's got a worker lead, though, and he's done significant damage. He's going to start that command center at the natural back at home and keep on the pressure here. And he can actually avoid the Spine Core. Oh, that Overlord is in the wrong spot.
That's unfortunate, but now the Marines are trapped. The Marines are trapped. They didn't even take down the Overlord.
Oh, you're so right. The Overlord is actually now singing a song of joy.
I actually thought that a few of those Marines would just try to go to the left side of the rocks and intercept it, but they didn't.
Yeah, it looked like he was even, he pathed his units there for a second and then turned them back around.
And you know, now Gumiho lost a lot of Marines. And he did not kill anything. The initial attack was awesome.
He could have just walked away.
Yeah, he could have walked away. He could have tried to kill the Overlord and walked away, or even walk away before that. But now, he didn't kill the Overlord. He lost most of his Marines. He only killed a few Zerglings. And this evened things up again.
Yeah, he took the advantage he had, got a little bit greedy, and fell down another level. It's kind of like when you get promoted to Master League, you tell your friends and you play about 8 games and suddenly you're back in Diamond and you're like, well, your friends see your logo, you're like, you just quit playing at that point, you just never even log in, your friends check your profile, dude, I saw you, I thought you said you were a Masters man. I was like, oh, it must be a bug, you know, I definitely am, I showed you the screenshot right.
Yeah, sometimes there are actually really weird bugs with lettering. There was this one bug where I didn't get a letter rank for about 50 games. I didn't get
yeah, I remember when that bug was happening, yeah.
And then at some point it just put you into the league. So yeah, MMR still counted. You could see how your opponents were getting better and better and higher in the leagues, but you just didn't get a league, and you're like, dude, it's been 50 games.
I've heard that promoting out of Bronze League is actually really difficult because there's so many people in Bronze League that's hard to get your MMR high enough to where you're considered silver, even if you beat some silver players.
Oh.
But, you know, it's all about how many games you put in and grind. Everyone out there who ladders knows what we're talking about, no matter what league you're in. Everybody wants to promote. If you're in Grandmaster and watching this, then...
That new victory score, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Out of the Swarm that they put out? That is awesome. I really love it. Blizzard is doing such a great job with Heart of the Swarm these days.
Oh, I'm so happy with it, man. The UI is insane.
The UI is getting better, the updates, and just all the patch changes that they make are really awesome.
I want to switch back to Protoss with that Phoenix stuff.
The Latic now coming up for Monster here, and so far this game, if we just disregard the initial aggression that we had, not a lot of things happening here, but Monster now has the information that he needs. He knows about the timings that are happening here, not only with the factory, but also with the add-ons in the main base. He saw the double command center in the main. There are 3 command centers, 3 orbitals now. So the Overlord definitely paid off. He supply blocked a bit, but only for a few seconds. He already started his first few Overlords when he went in for the scout.
Yep. Oh wow, I just found out what the Spine Crawler attack is called. I want to share it the other way. It's called the Impaler Tentacle. Oh my god. That's intense, man. The Spine Crawler just got so much scarier. I love to actually know the attacks of units. So I just realized I was looking at it and I was like, you know what is that attack called? Impaler Tentacle.
I play Zerg and I have never ever read this once before.
I think that the Spore Crawler's one is just called Spore Cannon, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. By the way, this is a really nice timing here by Gumiho. But he's spotted. Wow, really nice micro by both players.
Yeah, but did you see this flank that Monster was trying to go for, and Gumiho just dodged it by a second?
He was covered in grease or something with how he slid those Hellions out. And that was great because he lost very few Lings there, took out 2 Hellions. Now he can take that 3rd base safely. And Gumiho, he's got that 3rd command center up. He's had it for a while. but he doesn't feel very secure in moving down and actually taking it on the low ground. The third base on this map is a little bit far away. He's got two choices of which third base to take. I think he's going to take the one to the left side, but the one under his main is one he could decide to take that's a little bit far forward.
We have 3 missile turrets now coming up for Zerone and Oak. This Hellions getting trapped here, but that's a really decent position for them. The Zerglings have a lot less surface area than they would in the open field. No surround possible. So a lot of Lings have to be sacrificed to take down these few Hellions. The Spire is nearly done, but as already mentioned, it has been scouted. So therefore the missile turrets are ready, just waiting for the Mutalisks to arrive. Not the best... Yeah, actually not really the best conditions for a Mutalisk attack.
And this is... The Mutas are not going to be useful defensively here. He needs Banelings, and with all the DPS on these Marines, he should actually be able to kill this hatchery and then split off creep against the Banelings. This is going to be it. This is so close. He decides to commit to the Baneling attack now. Oh, he hesitates, and now he loses some Banelings, and the hatchery is cancelled. Well, actually, the Banelings escaped. He wasn't able to grab those with the Hellions like I originally thought.
You know, things are not going to go too well for Monster here, but he will be able to take down this force. But the question is, how many Mutalisks will die?
Oh, wow. That was excellent control against the Banelings. Saving the Mutalisks, though, like you said, is more important. So pulling the Mutalisks back.
Yeah. He pulled the Mutalisks back, and what definitely would have happened if that was not the case, Gumio would have started to attack them manually and take them down, but he dodged the Banelings first, and then the Mutalisks were already too far in the back. And guys, I apologize for the coughing, but I'm still really, really sick after we came back.
You're such a trooper, man. You've been sick for the past few days, and you are still here. You're doing a great job.
I got hit with a fever when we came back from Shanghai. There's just too much smog there. So the last 3 days I just spent in bed.
Every time you tell me that you're sick, I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess so. Like, I wouldn't have known because you're just here doing a good job.
Well, I wouldn't miss those games for the world.
Oh, no way, man. Neither would I. If I had like 2 broken arms, I'd still be here.
And the thing is, with Nick and Dan also not in Korea right now, just coming back within the next few days, there wouldn't have been anyone to replace me.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that no one had to replace you. We still get to cover this together. And these Mutas need to get out of here, but they forced a big stem on those Marines.
The problem for Monster is also going to be that the Terran army will be on really good upgrades, and with this composition that Monster goes for, you have the initiative in the mid-game, but once those +2/+2 and later even the 3/3 upgrades hit, and you have the Medivac support, it's going to be so difficult for him to make this composition work. So he either has to transition out, or he really has to try to hit a timing here. And he doesn't have a lot of time left open for that, because we have now Siege mode coming up. Siege tanks against Banelings will be awesome for him.
Yeah,
and the +2.
Yeah, exactly. His 2/2 is behind. Or rather, the Gumio's 2/2 is so ahead that he's going to have 2/2 before 2/2 is, or 1/1 is done. So he's going to be 2 upgrades behind if he doesn't go soon. He's going to wait for Baneling speed. Going in here with slow Banelings would actually be suicidal.
Yeah, but Baneling speed is nearly done, so if he just waits a few more seconds.
Oh, this
the Siege tank mode is not ready.
This is so close. This timing window is... I mean, he's going to have to slide through like a baseball player to make it through that window.
I think he will. Look at this. The Siege mode timing is not done just yet. And here come the Banelings. The Siege tank moving to the back. Still no Siege mode. The Banelings rolling in with the speed. And those Marines really have to run for their life. Great micro here by Gumiho. But did he do enough damage? Does he have enough Marines left? It looks like he does.
Yeah, he does. And I would say that's still a fairly even trade since he got those Siege tanks and he didn't lose his Mutas. But the upgrades are getting further and further ahead now for Gumiho. And he's got this third base totally secured. No 4th in sight right now.
+2/+2 is nearly completed, Wolf. And we have now finally the Siege mode. So Banelings will struggle against this. Siege tank number 1 should kill the low ground now.
Yep, and he's even got Thors coming out here as well to help with the Mutas to do that extra splash damage.
Great position for Gumiho now.
Yeah, he can actually just sit here on this third base until he gets to about 150 or 160 supply. He can start 3/3 soon. This attack is so late, but the tank was unsieged.
You can't attack with the Mutalisks like this. They are just way too close. Yes, they can target down the Thor, but the Marines, they can move in again after they dodge the Banelings. And once again, MVP Monster is forced back, and this is of course a game that he can play for a while, but the big problem is, once those 3 upgrades hit, he has no chance whatsoever anymore. He just doesn't have a late game.
Yeah, and just look at how the late game is developing now for Gumiho with the 3/3 coming through. He's got a full wall set up at his natural so he can defend against this attack easily if he raises that depot, that is, which he did not.
And that's a big problem.
And another depot not raised. There we go.
He has so many depot walls here. I love it. He not only does have the depot wall at the top of the ramp, he has one at the bottom and then one at the front.
Absolutely great build planning here.
Look at the bunker placement for him.
If Gumiho actually drops out of being a pro gamer or when he retires, I would like him to build a ship. I know it would be safe. And here we go. He's actually just going to catch some of these mutas if he wants. If he can get the Lings as well, he's just cleaning up these units very cost efficiently. And now I think he can start to walk across the map with this force, and there's not much answer for Monster. What's he going to do?
Well, how Gumiho actually places his buildings, you can see that he was a SimCity pro gamer before he switched to StarCraft 2.
Absolutely, man. He probably played some Roller Coaster Tycoon. Here we're going to actually see perhaps the final engagement here.
Look at how Gumiho moves out now. He has +2/+2, and as said before, with the Medivac support, this makes his army so strong. He has only 3 of them, but he has 71 Marines. This is so much DPS, and with good stims and all these upgrades, this is just so difficult for Monster to engage, and Monster doesn't have an infestation pit. He doesn't have this hive tech. He has nothing to deal with it.
He's trying to find the better angle of attack, but there isn't one. You know, Gumiho is so set up. GG!
Gumiho with a great play here against Monster, and this team match is just spiraling out of control. One team after another taking 1 point, losing the next match. It is just crazy. A back and forth team match. Gumiho doing a great job here, and let's be honest, he outplayed Monster.
Yeah, definitely so. It wasn't a smackdown, but Gumiho just was ready for everything.
No, it was just him playing more solid. And we have that banner going on. He's like, wait, in which booth are you actually in? What did he do?
I think he was actually already out of the booth, so he was like, oh, wait.
He was at the wrong booth. He's like, but did you see how energetic he walked over to the booth to the right, and then suddenly he's like, wait a sec, he's to the left, right?
Well, this game, you said it before, and I'll say it again, it's ping pong right now. We tie up again, 3-3. And there are going to be 3 games left in total, maximum playable. Both teams have 2 lives left, and now the Towel Terran is out. I think it's time for Tails. Tails seems to be the only choice right now. Sniper has to be last. It's got to be Tails. You snipe him down to 9 Fox. He's probably been prepared for this moment. That's why it wasn't used yet. And I think he's going to have a special map perhaps for Muspelheim.
Would you drop Keen?
Yeah, I would drop Keen. I don't want to use Keen against these 2 players, Gumiho and Lenok, if I have to.
You know, Keen has some really interesting builds for TVT, and I feel that he could be one of the players that might want to face Gumiho in a mirror match. If he prepared for this match, if he's one of the snipers that we have, you could also just go and maybe even use Sniper now, not play him as the last player. A lot of options. But
yeah, it's got to be either Keen or Tails.
I think it's going to be rather Keen than Tails soon. It's just Keen.
There he is, you're right. It's the Commander, Commander Keen.
You know, the thing is, I feel like Keen is one of the players that can take more than one man. For me, Tails is always this guy that has one job. You beat this one person. If you take another win after that, that's awesome, that's brilliant. But your job is to take down one player in particular. And if you lose after that, that's fine.
Absolutely, you're right. He's a sniper, true and true. And Keen is definitely the all-around better player. More well-rounded, I could say.
He showed some sick PvPs for quite a while, and he's very interesting builds with what he does. Very aggressive builds as well. And now, if he practiced for Gumiho, and I certainly can see that he did, then this might be a very tough match for the Towel Terran.
This is not going to be easy for either player, but this is going to be our first Terran versus Terran of the night.
Harry realized that it doesn't really matter what kind of clothes you put Keen in. He always looks like a boss when he sits in the booth.
Yeah, man. It's like, at first he was wearing the Commander Keen jacket, the green one. I was like, oh, what? How awesome is he? Then he just wears a t-shirt sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's casual Keen. He's going to work it out a little bit. He looks good in the t-shirt. You see him sometimes in a blue shirt, and you're like, well, that's not normally Keen style, but I can see he looks good in there. And then you see him with the new jacket, and I'm like, wow, man, yeah, you look good in this one too. Damn.
He should start to be a Korean model for clothes.
Keen, one of the things you could say about Keen about his consistency is not really whether he's in Code S or not or how well he's playing, but his hairstyle has actually been the same for over 2 years now.
You know, one of the things that I realized when I came to the studio, and I'm actually shocked that you didn't pick up on that yet, didn't you see that Tails changed his hair to black?
Yeah. It's actually insane, and I was hoping I could talk about it later when it came out, but...
that's why you wanted him to play.
I was going to talk about it.
It all makes sense now.
I was going to talk about it, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's going to come out today, but...
It doesn't look good, though.
Yeah, you know, I'm not really big on it, actually. Yeah. I was going to talk about it more when it's on camera, but Maybe we'll get a shot at the bench later and I can go into a little bit of detail. The map of choice, by the way, is Muspelheim. This is a pretty cool map for TVT. I feel like, I mean, obviously it's a mirror matchup, and TVT is the matchup I feel it's least affected by maps, except back in the old days when we had maps like Scrap Station with Close by Air or Metalopolis Close by Air. That was a matchup. That was when it was like, all right, well, we're definitely going to see Blue Flame Hellion drops or Banshees because we're close by air.
And now Gumiho has the chance to break the curse of this final, of the GSTL final. He has the chance to win a second game now, because so far every player who has been playing today only won one map.
Yep, that's very true. Very back and forth ping pong series that we have seen. This music is getting intense. We are in set number 7. The players are joined on the lobby.
You know, I feel this is really everything is just shaping up to this one match that everyone wanted to see when we headed into this final. Lenok versus Sniper.
Yeah, that's what we may in fact see.
It could come all down to this one ZVZ, and it would be an epic one. We have Cloud Kingdom left in the map pool and Whirlwind after this map, but of course, first of all, we are jumping into Muspelheim, into Gumiho versus Keen, and Terran versus Terran here at the GSTL Finals. Team MVP up against Team FXOpen, brought to you by Kaldan Wolf.